Hello, my wonderful class. Professor Tangway here. Wanted to take this opportunity to introduce myself to you so you could have a face to put to the name as well as the voice that you will hear in many of our screencasts. I have been teaching for over 11 years at the high school and college level. I've been teaching at the college level for the last 3 years after I finished up my master's degree in creative writing. And I love teaching. First and foremost, you need to know that. I think of myself as a teacher probably before anything else. And I love teaching writing. Teaching writing is one of my passions. I feel like learning how to express ourselves in the written word is so important. And though I know some of you also are writers and you love to write, or maybe just to write on your own. Some of you hate to write and you are dreading this class and you're only taking it because the school requires you to do so. But the fact is, in this day and age, we express ourselves in the written word on an almost daily basis. When you think about Facebook, Twitter, text messaging, email, all of these other forms, we express ourselves in the written word all the time. So one of my goals is to, of course, teach you how to write a solid essay with a great introduction and a convincing conclusion and using lots of research. All of those things are really, really important, and that is what we will be doing in this class for sure. But I also want you to be able to feel more secure in word choice and expressing yourselves, and maybe some of those grammatical errors. We are actually going to talk about different grammar rules that sometimes a lot of times students just didn't know. When we start talking about commas and they're like, what do you mean? You don't just put a comma in every time you take a breath? No, you don't just put a comma in every time you take a breath. That's what they told you in 3rd grade because they didn't want you to write one long sentence. But there are actually rules and reasons for why commas go in different places. And we're going to talk about those so that way you will know when to put one in and you will feel confident in that. Okay, so that's just a little bit about my teaching and what I like to do in the classroom. You need to also know that part of my philosophy is that I want you to become the best writer that you can be. And that means that you might have to do revisions. There obviously is the writing process, and that you will create drafts and we will have peer editing and I will give you feedback and all that. But sometimes your final product will just not be, it will just not be right where it needs to be. My goal is never to be like, aha, I knew you weren't paying attention. I knew they didn't know what I was talking about. I know there are teachers out there that are like that, but that's not me. My goal is that you understand this, because the fact is, this is the foundational composition course. And the reason they require this is because they want you to apply all of these skills in all of your courses throughout the rest of your education. So if you don't know how to document your sources properly, then I'm going to make you go back and do it again, because you need to know how to do that. It's not going to go away. You will need to know how to do this in the future. If you don't know how to develop your paragraphs by giving really great examples of the point you are trying to make, then I will have you go back and do that. So you need to know that if I ask you to revise something, you notice in the syllabus, there's a section on revisions, and it says that I may require you to revise an essay, and I will enter a grade of 50 until that revised essay is given back to me and regraded. Then you need to revise your essay. However, here's the good thing about revising your essays. When I ask you to revise an essay, you obviously have to do it. But on top of that, you will, when you give me your revised essay, when I grade that one, that grade is the grade that you get. I don't average the 2 grades together. I don't deduct because it's not the original essay or anything like that. The grade that you will receive is the full grade on the revised essay, as though that were the first time I had read that essay. So it's actually to your benefit to revise. You have the option to revise every essay for the semester, with the exception of the last essay, and that's only because it's due 3 days before the end of the semester and there just isn't time. But Every other essay for the class, you actually have the opportunity to revise. So take that opportunity, whether I require it or not. Like I said, there will be times I will require it, but a lot of the times maybe you're just not satisfied with the grade. Maybe you got an 89 and an 89 is not good enough for you. You have the opportunity to revise that. So we'll talk about that a little bit more as the semester goes on. But you just need to know that revisions are not punishment, that they are opportunities, and that they really are to help you so that you understand and can do these things as you move forward into your academic careers, whatever direction that may be. Okay, so and then the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that, okay, so with all of that work as well, keep in mind, this is a 10-week course. So what normally is covered in 16 weeks is covered in 10. So yes, there will be a lot of work every week, but that is because it is in a 10-week course. So you need to know that that is part of the reason that it might seem like there is a lot of work, but don't worry. We're going to just take it one step at a time each week, and you will be fine. However, that said, as far as online courses go, you need to keep in mind that sometimes students get the idea that an online course is effectively what you would do for homework, and that's about it. And that they would just have to turn in their homework assignments, and that's all the amount of work that's done. That's not the way it works. An online course, you have to think, if we were in a classroom, we would meet twice a week probably for about 2 hours. And in this case, because it's a 10-week course, we would meet for 2 3-hour sessions a week. So 6 hours a week we would spend in the classroom doing activities, having lectures, discussions, all of that. 6 hours a week just in the classroom. And then I'd still give you homework. So make sure that you plan plenty of time into your week in order to cover all of this material. Start out by listening to whatever my lecture is for that week, do the reading assignments, and then start working on the discussion boards, especially if you're assigned to do the initial post. And also start on, doing brainstorming activities or revising activities or whatever the things are that we're doing that week. Make sure that you allot yourself enough time. The weeks are set up to begin on a Tuesday and end on a Monday. It sort of works out well that we always start. It seems like every semester starts right after a Monday holiday, but honestly, even if it didn't, I prefer the Tuesday to Monday week, because I feel like a lot of you work, and I understand that. So it gives you your entire weekend to get work done, and then not even have to necessarily submit everything by Sunday. It gives you that opportunity to have that extra day in case you just need a little bit more time, or you have a couple of extra questions to ask or whatever, so that things aren't due until 11:59 p.m. on Monday. So it sort of gives everybody a little bit of a buffer, because I've taken online courses where everything is due on Sunday, and a lot of times professors are absent a little bit more on the weekends because it's the weekend, and so they're off doing other things. And who wants to spend their entire weekend doing work? So it's sort of, I feel like, is kind of the best of both worlds for everything. So, okay, so that's going to be it for me for my introduction. I have another video that I will be uploading where I will discuss the narrative essay and learning styles. And I think that's about it. Welcome to Composition 101 ZZ, which just signifies that it's fully online. And I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you. Okay, have a great day. Bye.